The Geek Speak Show Volume 2 is produced and distributed by 22 Creations Multimedia, LLC.
We all have issues. Geek culture has issues too. Not just comic book issues, real issues that need to get out in the open and be discussed. That's what you're about to hear. The Geek Speak Show, Volume 2 presents Issues of the Day. Here's Henry San Miguel.
Hey everybody, welcome back. How was your Halloween? Not too many tricks, hopefully, for you guys, although that could mean something completely different for some people, and if that's the case, then you had a great Halloween, didn't you? Anyway, no, I said that we do an Issues of the Day episode last month, but then we got busy with putting the Halloween show together, the Geek Speak treats, and the last thing on our minds was Issues of the Day. So instead, because this month, because it is November, by the way, because November is going to be a shorter month, we're going to start off the month with the Issues of the Day. We're all here, which of course means Shanclen and me. Also, Marc Pope and Trent Tucker, the host of Geek Off The Street. Welcome back, boys. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for having us.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah. Good Halloween. Nothing crazy went down, so I like that.
Mm.
I did go to, what is it, that Oogie Boogie Bash at Disneyland or California Adventure.
Yeah.
So that was fun. That was cool.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, and I want to give a quick shout out to that leprechaun that announced us before the show, talking about the issues of the day. That whenever I hear it, it throws me off. I'm like, wait, what are we talking about? What's happening right now?
Lucky Charms.
Irish accent comes out of nowhere.
But you know,
so wherever you are,
I never thought
Lucky Charms.
that would be a brag, what Mark just said, because in 2025, just being able to go to Disneyland, never mind for their special stuff, that means you're up there. You're one of the 1%ers. You're the only ones that can afford going now.
Yeah, tell them which kind of magic key pass you have also, Mark.
Yeah, tell us what kind.
just one that, you know what, it's not about me. Let's get to the issues of the day. It's not about me. It's about the issues. Let's talk about some issues. That's what the people want to hear.
Mark's thinking, how did this become about me?
Guys?
Yeah, no, but really, yeah, no, you're right. Let's get to that because it is a big one. I've been talking about this for a while. You guys first heard, you Geek Speak listeners, you first heard it. I think it was a month ago, or maybe more than that. Shanclen actually mentioned it on his Nerdy Navajo News Report. That, but to me, when I heard that story, it was a big told you so, because we talked about this before. AI and the strikes that we had, they were about that, to stop AI, really. But the story that Shanclen talked about, it's been making around since. So, of course, we need to bring it up here. That's, what's her name? Tilly Norwood, the AI-generated actress created by Aline van der Velden. She's the CEO of Particle 6. That's the company that does all this stuff. Tilly's existence, that's not the real story. I think we all knew that was going to happen. The story in my I Told You So is that what came after that, after she announced that we have an AI, and by the way, what do we call it? Her, it? What do we call it? Her. Have we decided on that? That's another issue. But that wasn't the story, like I said. That her existence is not the story. The story is that Hollywood companies, meaning studios, TV studios, streamers, big studios, they all rushed to call the CEO and say, hey, can we sign her to like a 3-picture deal or whatever deal? And reps, agents, PR people, agents, talent agents that represent actors, real actors like, Pedro and all the big actors we watch. The ones that represent them, they called and said, can we add them to our list? Can we represent them? As if it was a real person. Now, of course, Hollywood said, no. And I kind of know how you guys feel about it, so let's start it there. How do you feel about it, really, about the fact that, not that it exists, she exists, but the fact that Hollywood studios already are trying to sign her, talent agents, talent reps, they're already trying to sign her.
Man, that sounds like they are all on bat shit over there. Can I say bat shit? Is that okay?
Yes.
the fact that they're talking about trying to represent, I mean, they're playing that crazy Hollywood game, that you see in movies. Oh, you need an agent, let me represent you, do this kind of thing. It's an own piece of property. It's a computer program. So yeah, the fact that people are rushing out to do that, rushing out to do like contracts, like we wanted to put her in 3 movies. I mean, unless she's playing like an AI, then I don't know how that's going to work. That sounds crazy to me. And again, not the fact that it's been created, but the fact that there's all the stuff going around, all the stuff in orbit around this property of Norwood, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
Sounds crazy to me.
Yeah. And what does that entail exactly? Like playing a role in a movie, like, is the whole movie just going to be AI generated, or will there be other actors that have to perform with an AI? Like how would you even? I don't know. I don't even know how that would even work.
Yeah, if it's an animated movie, I would suppose. Yeah, then go nuts with it. Why not?
No,
I don't know, but yeah,
that actually does have an answer, because I question. Those are my questions also when I heard that story from Shanclen. And I looked into it, and no, if it was an animated film, okay, you would understand who's going to tell the difference. But no, this is going to be, I thought, Roger Rabbit at first, because it's going to be real actors, human actors.
Right.
And then she's there. She'd be the main character. And the company and the Hollywood studios, what they say to normalize it, I guess, is that what I think we're going to start hearing with everything, not just with acting, but with everything is, well, she won't get tired. She can do her own stunts, and she doesn't need, and we don't really need insurance. All the stuff that anything that not real can do. She's not going to get sick. She's not going to need time off for mental health or to recover or anything. That's what they're saying is like, it saves us time and we don't have to spend money on real actors. All I hear is we don't have to spend money on real actors. That's what they really want to do. So that's my issue with that. But Shanclen, you started this story. You read it. I mean, how do you see all this?
Well, them is gonna be probably one of the easiest clients these people have ever worked with. Just like how you're talking about. For me, I the ball's rolling now. Like, it's not gonna stop from here. It's just gonna continue growing. And kind of what I see on today's date in November, I think it's gonna be its own genre, an AI movie genre. So like, how when you go on Netflix, you can choose like different categories. I think AI is going to be its own section.
Oh, interesting.
I say no.
Wow, its own section.
I say no, only because we already have that right now. I don't know if you guys have noticed one of the Geek Speak treats that we did last month was at Barnes & Noble. And before we started recording anything, we were there setting up our cameras, but the author, Mark Tilly, the one that was there, the lady that was running the event, he was doing a signing. She came up to him and had him sign a piece of paper that said, how many books are you going to sell? How many books did you bring to sell? All of that. And then she asked, are any of these AI generated? Which he said no, because they're not. But I've noticed there's a lot of media companies that are asking that now. And when we sign contracts, when we do any production or anything, they ask that, is any of this AI generated? I think, Shanclen, you would know. You upload videos on a regular basis to YouTube. Don't they have a thing that we have to check that there's nothing AI? They don't call it AI generated. They call it something else. But that's basically what it means, that it's not AI generated.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of doing that already, kind of setting up safety nets. But Shanclen is correct in what he's saying, that this does mark not just actors, because the way I see this is Hollywood again is a microcosm of the shift we're all about to go through. We meaning the world. This is going to be world changing, because we're talking about movies here, and I know that's something that we all like, we enjoy, we collect, we watch, all of that. Some of us want to make them, but it's not necessary to live. Food is, electricity, all the usual things we need for to live. How about your delivery driver be AI? Drones, trucks driving themselves. How about McDonald's when you go order? And you kind of already see that. Instead of people behind the counter, no longer will McDonald's or any fast food restaurant be your first job because AI is going to be doing all that. Now, why I say that, because I know some of you are probably thinking, you watch the Terminator too much. No, that's not what I'm thinking. Do you guys know what AGI is?
No.
We have AI, but AGI, that's artificial general intelligence. That, when it's coupled with quantum computers, which Microsoft did, they introduced them, I think it was in July, right before we all went to Comic-Con. Probably that's why we didn't notice, but they introduced it already. There's only one, because right now it costs like billions of dollars for the average person. But once they become available, which should be by the middle of next year, when you partner quantum computers with AGI, plain and simple, that's when they become sentient. AGI means that it's everything, the chatbots, the GPTs, all the stuff everything that you use AI for right now. It goes beyond that. It's not just a search engine anymore. Now it's actually thinking, pre-thinking before you, and that leads to, we'll put chips on. You'll somehow be connected to you so that it can read your thoughts. So that instead of typing anything in or even speaking, you just think it. It knows what you want to order. It knows where you want to go. It'll suggest what you want to do. For creators, it'll tell you what kind of story you want to make. Quantum computers make it happen like that, lightning fast. So when you have that, that's when it'll be as close to sentient as you can. And that's what I'm afraid of. That you guys know I've never been a big fan of social media. The reason why is because when I first learned what social media was, I said, this is going to make people lazy. Boy, has it. People don't know how to think for themselves without looking at memes. They don't know how to tie their shoes without watching a YouTube video. Stuff that we three, well, Shanclen is in that too. He's different. He's not the typical, millennial Gen Z. He actually knows how to do more stuff than the typical. So he's not like everybody else. But everybody else that I know, every kid that I know that's come here, they can't do anything without watching a YouTube video, or they can't think for themselves. They don't know what they like or don't like unless Rotten Tomatoes tells them or their followers tell them or all of this. What do you think AGI and quantum computers are going to do? Not just talking about creatively, but just human life. What do you think that's going to do?
It's going to turn into Wall-E.
Exactly.
At some point.
There's two outcomes, Wall-E or Terminator.
Yeah. Yeah, which one's better, really, though? I know that's the question right there.
Well, I think the obvious is Wall-E, because I think we're kind of seeing that already. We're not all becoming big fat blobs just sitting there. But it's getting close. Not everybody is into their health until it's too late, unfortunately. But this is going to give you a reason not to even need to get up. What for? It can bring the drink to you. It can order whatever fast food you want. Exercise, why? I can just watch stuff right here on the screens. So yeah, I can see that happening. But again, I mean, I keep saying all this AI stuff with Hollywood. I love everyone that I've had on the show, the filmmakers, actors, to a T, unanimously, all of them hate AI. None of them want to do anything. They'll use it as a tool, but not like this. This tells me what I said. I think it was 3-4 years ago when I said, yeah, but companies, studio heads, they're gonna find a legal way to do things cheap. There's your proof right there. I bet you will see more stories like this as we go along. So, kind of had an idea what you guys were gonna say, but I had to start with that one. Anybody have anything else before I move on to the next one?
No, that was just funny. That was something that you did call back when we first started having this conversation on your show, I think. And it's hard to make any other judgment other than it being about money and, money, time, legality. It's a lot easier for studios to do it. And that's, never mind taking out the technology side of it, to see the technology develop is, in a way cool, but for it to be used like the way you're saying, that sucks, I think.
Well, because here's the thing. Yeah, go ahead, Shanclen.
I was going to say, do you think there's going to be more actor protests that's going to kind of like how I know there's already been some, but do you think it's going to ramp up even more now?
I hope not. There will, but I hope not. And I'll tell you why. Because the more they protest, that gives the studios a quote unquote legal or a reason, a legit reason to use AI. Because like we said in the beginning, the studios can easily turn around and say, well, look, they're protesting. They don't want to work for us. We need to get product out. So we've got to use AI. So you're feeding them what
like
they
the
want.
strike
Anyway.
goes down or something.
Yeah. So, well, the other thing I was going to say before Shanclen jumped in is actually about Shanclen, because right now I've talked to other people that have YouTube channels and create on a regular like what Shanclen does. They roll their eyes, but this is coming to you guys too. This could also mark the end of influencers or content creators, because why? You got AI that probably could do it in 20 seconds and not have to give up their life.
Yeah.
And that's something that I have been noticing and seeing on social media is a lot of people aren't liking it though. They're kind of on the same. A lot of people are on the same page as like whenever they see like a video that's like AI generated, or there are some companies out there that license music and stuff like that out there too, and they're introducing new AI features into their services, and they would post like an AI video. Everybody in the comments is like, this is AI slop, screw this, I'm unsubscribing. And I guess it's just going to have to depend on the people if they want that or not. But right now, how the tide is going, a lot of people don't like it, but I think it's going to get to the point to where people aren't even going to notice anymore. It's just like they're force feeding it to you. It's just like, okay, like it's pretty. I don't know if you guys have ever seen like those Sora videos, like on TikTok or social media. Like that is crazy looking real videos, and people are even making. They had to put some restrictions on Sora just because people were making their own animes. It was like Goku versus One Punch Man, and they were generating it by themselves, and it looked really real. So, yeah, it looks pretty gnarly.
Yeah, and I feel like too, like as time goes by, like we are all savvy to this. We are aware of it. We have our own filters to see, like, okay, that's fake, this AI. But I feel like that next generation coming up, they're not going to know the difference, and to them, that's going to be, this is real. This to them, that's going to be real.
Is
to
life.
them, that's going to be, yeah. So like the next generation that's coming up, anyone that's like a child right now or born or whatever, if it keeps going, this trend keeps going, and you got to keep in mind, like, the AI technology is going to get better, it's going to look better, it's going to be easier to use, all that stuff's going to improve, especially if quantum computing gets involved with it. It's going to have like an exponential jump, and the younger people aren't going to know one end from another, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
As far as that's concerned, anyway.
I'm just glad.
So, yeah.
I'm probably not going to be around for all this. So you guys have fun.
Oh, yes, you are. You guys.
No, but yeah, I mean that's the thing about it's a topic obviously that's not going to go away. This I guarantee will not be the last time we talk about it on Geek Speak or probably Geek Off the Street or anything really, because like you said, yeah, I always find that funny. Everybody hates this, they don't like it, but yet I see everybody do, like Shanclen said, everybody's using it on their social media, on their channels. You see it in commercials, TV commercials now. So it's like talking out of both sides of like, I hate it, but I'm going to use it anyway because it makes it easier. Okay.
Yeah, that goes back to the conversation I had with you, Henry, on the phone a couple days ago. Is like I did some research, and there's I was like, how many companies in the world are using AI in some way, shape, or form? I said 78% of companies in the world are using AI in some shape or form.
Yeah, and
it's only going to grow from there.
Yeah, and the sad part at the end, it's not about the creativity; it's about money. It's about saving money, really, not having to, like, for example, using something AI generated. That means I don't have to pay Shanclen to edit it or film it. I don't have to pay you, Mark and Trent. I don't have to pay you guys to go out there and be the extra camera people or the directors. I don't have to pay someone like Henry to voice the big voice. I can use a GPT. All of that cost me not even $100, whereas we would cost a lot more because of our skill and what we've done. So yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say I get that as a small business owner. I'd still want to have you guys, because I care more about people's talent than just somebody that can put in the code, give me a voice that sounds like Old West. Like, okay, well, or I like it better when I can tell Shanclen or somebody like, hey, give me a cowboy voice, give me an alien voice, give me this voice. And it's actually funnier and you make more human connection. Not the voice you get, but trying to get to there, because you'll make a different voice and we're laughing at that. And those are memories that you have. You're not going to have that with AI. So again, this is why I say that humanity is going to die if we just push a button and we go right back to eating. And again, Wall-E is now real.
That's the crazy thing is, like, with me and my mindset, I'm thinking there's somebody right here, right now, listening to our podcast 30, 40, 50, 60 years in the future right now. And I'm just thinking of what's life for them right now. And then them listening to this, are we considered vintage content? Vintage style, like original content before AI took over? Like 100%.
Right, yeah.
You know.
Yeah, they're real people talking, right?
And I was going to say, we can check, because we're going to do a little bit of time traveling at the end of this episode here. A little tease for you guys. But let's move on to the second issue I want to bring up. How many of you know Baywatch, the show Baywatch?
Some people plan something. Yeah, that still goes, right?
Is that a yes, or you don't know what it is?
That's like goes. I'll be running. That's Baywatch, right?
Miami Vice.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Miami Vice.
No, my girlfriend
Yes.
loves Baywatch, so yeah, it's on all the time here.
Yeah, Miami Vice, MTV Cops, as it was
Prison
originally
Break.
pitched. Yes.
Remember that show?
Yeah, that's not even that old. I mean, it's like, I don't know, maybe what, 15, 20 years old now? But
Yeah.
that's like, that's not that long ago.
You guys know the Goonies.
I do remember
Everybody listening knows the Goonies.
Mhm.
They never say
Hey,
die.
you guys. Yeah, I never say
Whoever
die.
sings this song, I will love you guys. Knight Rider, who remembers that?
Oh, man, Knight Rider that was
the
the
song.
ish back in the day, guys.
Yeah.
Trust me. That was,
Actually,
everybody was watching Knight Rider.
Mom was a big fan of Knight Rider.
you know what we need to do? What do you call those things? The Patreons, the one where people send you money. What are those called? Whatever those are
Yeah,
called.
Patreon.
Yeah, Patreon or yeah.
Yeah, we have to team up. Shanclen, Shadow Productions, Geek Off The Street, and the Geek Speak Show. I need to get, I think, what was it? I think 80,000 or 179,000. This morning, as I was getting ready, I went to, where did I see it? Facebook, the shop thing that they have. Somebody in LA is selling a fully functional 1979 Trans Am. Yes, a kit. It was built by a guy that worked on the show.
Oh, crap.
And it's got Hasselhoff's autograph on the side, and I think one of the production guys on the end. But it's got everything. The eye thing works. Everything works. Yeah,
We can all use
Yeah.
it and be like, okay, I need to borrow the car for this photo shoot,
Right, right.
you guys. Schedule it out for the teams.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah. But those
Yeah.
those
I'll get it on
shows,
Tuesday, Shanclen on Wednesday. Yeah.
yeah. But those shows that I mentioned there, the reason why I mentioned them is because they're all getting reboots in the coming years. Baywatch is coming back. Miami Vice is actually, they're talking about what's the name from Sinners? Michael B. Jordan playing one of them. Prison Break is coming back again. The Goonies we talked about the sequel. Knight Rider, the team behind Cobra Kai is thinking about redoing and bringing back Knight Rider either as a movie or as a series. The point is not to give you those news. That's Shanclen's job every week. But what I want to bring up is, have we, the audience, do we have to accept 2025, or I guess 26, or like a month and a half left here? Is 2026 the year that we as an audience have to accept the fact that Hollywood ain't got no more original ideas no more?
I believe it.
Is it too early to time travel? I think that was the case in 2018. But As far as accepting, what does that mean? Us accepting it, just accepting it, and like, all right, that's it, and we're gonna go.
In for this audience, it means don't talk like Trent. I just want to see original stories. I don't want to see the story. Yeah, well, they're just gonna pump out the same stuff over and over.
Mm-hmm.
And really, we love you guys, but not you guys. I'm talking about the audience listening to us. It's you guys' fault. You guys keep going, so you're telling them, yeah, make more, we'll go. If you stop going, they stop making them.
I mean, like, it's always like reheated food you had the day before, and it's like that's your only diet, and then it's just like,
yeah. But the thing is, all these things like that reheated food, it ends up in the same place afterwards.
Mm-hmm. And that's
Yeah, which is coincidentally where the same place where the stuff is found, right? In that
Yes.
same place where it ends.
That's where it's found too, right?
it's for me, it's just kind
Yeah.
of sad. It's just like, those movies were so iconic because they matched the flavor of the universe at the time, and it's just like the flavor changes through time, and it's like, like they don't get the right recipe down for the meal of the movie, and it just kind of tastes a little weird,
I got to say this for anybody else jumps in. If you're here from the Geek Off The Street audience, first of all, thanks for coming over. Welcome. Hope you're having fun. But over there, you know how much they joke ageism is a thing on Geek Off The Street both ways. Trent with well, you're old or you can't remember. Mark with well, you're 12. Are you still in diapers? Here on the Geek Speak Show, if you're a regular listener, I never do that with Shanclen. That what he said right there is exactly why. He's very wise for his age. He's exactly right what he just said right now. And let me ask a serious question that tied into this. Does that, yes, these movies, these shows, they are iconic. The actors are iconic. The character. I mean, look how he reacted when I said I saw a full size kit for sale. If it was a show nobody cared about, why would I want to buy a car? I already have my car. But the fact that it's just a car, you probably won't even drive it. You'll probably just want to look at it and turn on the thing going on. But that's what makes these shows iconic. When they get remade, rebooted, whatever you want to call it, reimagined is what they used to say also. Does that kill the iconicness? I guess that's a word. Does that kill the iconicness, or are they still iconic shows if there's a new version, then another new version?
Mark, how do you feel about the Matrix franchise after number 4 came out?
Wait, that was a
great
4?
question. That's yeah, after number 4. That's a great way to put it, actually, because I was thinking something different, but that's a good way to put it. I was fine with those first 3 movies, and that 4th one came out. It disgusted me, made me sick, because I was about to say that, in answering your question, Henry, that I think it just kind of it taints it a little bit. You know what I mean? You have this iconic thing from 1980 or 1990s, and then this other piece of junk came on, just trying to leech off of it. Like the original one still has a place for me, but there's this asterisk on the whole franchise now, that there is this other new thing that came out that 99 times out of 100 turns out being garbage, for lack of a better way to a nicer way to put it. It ends up it's no good. And the bad thing is, I'll say really quick, because saying all this, like trying to rehash and redo everything, is a terrible idea, right? And then, like you were saying a little while ago, Henry, about how you're people kind of like talk out of both ends and all that kind of thing. You say one thing, then you do something else. Like literally last night, I was listening to something on TikTok. It was an old theme song to a cartoon show called Bionic 6. You guys want to remember it? It was a very short-lived kind of thing. Right. It was great. Their theme song was great. And all it was the theme song. And I started thinking, man, it'd be great if we redid this. And I was like, oh, man. I turned into, I'm one of them.
Yeah.
That was the first thing I started thinking once I started, I started singing the words. I hadn't heard this song in like 40 years or something crazy. But I would love to, get it or have it again in some kind of way. But yeah, I guess we want to have our cake and eat it too. They're making another He-Man movie.
Yeah, I forgot
So,
to put that. Yeah, you're right. I forgot to put that one in. And we've already had, obviously the original, the one that probably you and I grew up with, Mark. But we had the Kevin Smith one that was, I think it was on Netflix that came out. Was it like 3 years? Or I think it's still ongoing. And now, is this a movie or a show? I know it's coming.
It's gonna be a movie.
Yeah, but
I'm not sure when it's supposed to be coming out, but it's gonna be a movie sometime soon.
Oh, yes. It's going to fail. We were talking before we started because Jared Leto is Skeletor.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
The Jared Leto curse.
Yeah, right. Man, we reviewed the Tron Ares, and I didn't think it was that bad. I thought Jared Leto did a great job in it. But I guess I don't know how well it's doing in the box office currently.
That's what I like to call preheated hate right there. They preheated the oven for that hate. Before the movie even came out, I saw things and I'm like, what's going on?
I haven't seen it, so I can't say anything, but I have a feeling that, again, this is another reason why I like, not just because you're friends, but why I listen to Geek Off the Street, because your takes are pretty much how I look at things. Every now and then there's things we don't agree on. Andor is one of the biggest ones we talked about here. But obviously we're still friends. But in general, we're on the same boat on everything. Where the entire world seems to love it. This is the greatest, whatever. Us three, especially one of us here, I won't say who, Trent, is like, screw you guys. You don't know anything. You don't know what real art is, because we seem to be the only ones that can see it, watch a movie, and say it's pretty good, while everybody else, I hate it. Put it on Rotten Tomatoes, but give it a bad rating. Just watch the thing. You're just looking to see if you agree with the Rotten Tomatoes rating. So, yeah, I get that. But I was actually going to go, before I lose that train of thought, I was going to go back to YouTube, to Trent and Shanclen, as writers, filmmakers. Why do you think? And I know you're not in the boardrooms or anything, but so it's your opinion, obviously. But why do you think Hollywood executives are so afraid of brand new IP? I mean, Shanclen mentioned a minute ago, you remake these things to make it more in touch with today's generation. Well, why not just make a story for today's generation instead of taking something from the past?
Money, I think, is the big one. I think.
Well, no. Because it can't be, because to make it, I think you two know this, to make this, you need money to make it. So they don't want to give you the money first, but they're willing to spend the money on something that probably is going to fail anyway.
What? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Trent.
Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead.
No, it's just I was going to kind of back you up a little bit that when it comes with the money aspect of it, I think it's a safer investment if it's something that's already been made, already been done. It has a built-in fan base, whatever that fan base may be, and then whoever's pitching it might be selling it too. Like, oh, you know what, parents and kids will be able to go, blah blah blah. I think it to them, I feel like it's probably a safer investment, or they feel like it's a safer investment, so they will get that return.
See, I can say this because I don't want to make films. I don't care. This is where what Shanclen said is exactly correct, and this is why they don't like me being in pitch meetings, because I bring stuff like this up. Number one, if they use that argument, I'm going to tell them, well, see, you're stupid. This is why your movies failed and why they suck. Because what did Shanclen just say a minute ago about reboots? He said they're redoing it for today's audience. And what Mark just said, if the family will go, it's for an audience already. It's an already established audience. That audience is old now. Even our own tastes have changed by now. So we're probably not going to go to this thing because we remember David Hasselhoff and not whoever or whatever is going to be Michael Knight, if there's going to be a Michael Knight now. So we're not going to go to that. Today's audience, they don't care about AI. Their own cars, the Tesla, Shanclen's car drives itself. That's nothing cool. It's like, yeah, I see that every day. That's nothing special to me. So again, it can't be that. And if it is, then that shows you why movie executives don't know anything.
You know what? A counterpoint is, or something to consider is, I don't think, and I say this is with all due respect, I don't think the general audience thinks the way you and I do, for example, or the way any of us on the show necessarily think, that we might have a little bit more of a critical eye. I think maybe the general moviegoer might just see something, be like, oh, I remember that, and that's all it takes for them to go watch a movie. Maybe, I don't know, because like you said, they do these movies sometimes and they fail, but they have to be making some sort of return on it because they keep doing it, or they're trying to recapture some lightning in a bottle that where it did work. But I don't think maybe the general audience is as critical about it as the four of us might be, and everybody listening right now, obviously on this show. So we're all the smart ones.
What I think of it as, what they're going for is that, let's see what the hoopla is all about. Like, at least for the younger generation, they're like, their parents would be like, oh my God, this was such a cool movie back in the day. It's so awesome. And then like a kid would be like, or a young teenager, young adult would be like, all right, well, then I guess I'll go see what the hoopla is about. And then they go watch a movie. But they have the same recipe from back then, but it doesn't correlate with today. And it just people's mindsets back in the day when those movies were made, that's why it hit. And then people watch it today and they're just like, this is not relatable to us or any of our mindsets, thinking, or way of life. So it's just like, that's why it bombs all the time, because it's like cool, I guess, but it wasn't like such an inspirational movie, I guess. Like a today, like if those movies were made with today's flavor and stuff.
Let me play a little game that I don't think we've done here, either on Geek Speak or on one of these issues of the day. I don't think we've done it when I'm on you guys' show either. There's something I did way back in season 1 of the Geek Speak show with that team, the original team. I had them come up with, give me a pitch for something original. And if it's even close to anything we have today, I'm going to hit the button and go back to the meeting room. Let me go with the young guys, you two, Trent and Shanclen. We know what Mark and I, what we grew up with, what we consider iconic, basically what's being remade, what we're talking about right now. But for you guys, today, 2025, going into 26, kind of stories, I'm looking especially at Trent. You're the one that always says, I'm looking for a good story. What does that mean? What is a good story, original story? What does that look like in 2026?
Vampires in space. Think about it. You ever?
I am. Ask you tried it, didn't work. So back to the drawing board.
Okay. Have you ever seen a vampire movie where a vampire went into the future? Like, they live forever, but you've never seen a movie where a vampire is actually living in the future, to where like he was, let's just say, he was created into a vampire in the 14th century, and he lives up to modern day, becomes a billionaire, but then he's still living, and he ends up becoming the god of the world.
Shanclen, when we take a break, look up the name George Hamilton and see what one of his movies is.
This one already did that.
Yes. It's a comedy, but yeah. Dracula dead and loving it.
I thought that was pretty good, Shanclen. I don't know.
Just think about it. He becomes so rich.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
No, but see, the point is not to say you're wrong. It's the point I'm making is the same one I made 15 years ago on the Geek Speak show when we did it. Is at this point, especially now in going into 26, we've done so much, we've seen so much, and we see it every day that it's just almost impossible to come up with anything original anymore. I mean, this year, Shanclen did. You guys liked it also. Everyone talked about how great Sinners is. That was just From Dusk Till Dawn for 2025. That's all I saw. And really, Dusk Till Dawn is a lot better than Sinners. Yes, I said it. But it's not really that original, and we can't really do that much original stuff anymore.
Yeah, I think it's definitely to come up with something completely original is hard to do. I mean, every once in a while you'll see some writer direct. Typically, it seems like writer director team will come up with some sort of new interesting project that's I was just thinking about No Country for Old Men. I mean, that movie came out a while ago, but that was kind of original, in its own way. They got a Frankenstein movie coming out. I think called The Bride from Guillermo del Toro, I think.
Yeah.
So it's a Frankenstein, IPA kind of thing, but hopefully there's some sort of originality to it. So yeah, I think the major like concepts have already been, done. Sometimes people come up with these.
What you just
ways
said, let
to
me correct real quick.
find
No,
something
it's not
original,
Guillermo del Toro. Guillermo del Toro has one that's going to come out in a couple weeks on Netflix, actually. But it's not that one. The Bride is somebody else. That's what I was thinking.
That's
of.
the one.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know which one he's doing then. Something similar, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah.
He was doing a
Yeah.
Frankenstein, but you'll see that on Netflix in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's coming on Netflix. Yeah, like you said, probably in a couple days, actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess my point that I was trying to make, or I was going to make, is like a lot of the major concepts have maybe been done. Stories of revenge, stories of the hero, doing some great thing, rags to riches, and vice versa, kind of thing. There was, we were talking about Paul McCartney, maybe amongst ourselves or whatever, but he has that song. What is it? Is it called "I Love You"? Where he says, "I thought the world would have had enough of silly love songs."
Yeah.
You guys know that song?
Yeah,
I thought the world would have had. Yeah.
What's that song called?
Oh, I think it's called "I Love You," isn't it? Or that's what he says in the refrain, like crazy.
Yeah,
The point I'm trying to make.
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name of the song.
P.S. I Love You, is that what it's called? I think. No, that's the Beatles. Sorry.
Is it "P.S. I Love You"?
No, that's the Beatles. Anyway,
That's
I'm
like
trying to
Beatles.
figure it out.
That's like, wait a minute, I know that one.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Keep going.
The big refrain is "I love
Silly
you"
love,
over and over.
silly love songs.
Yes, my point.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds right.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna let it go.
So, right. Yeah. It's like, yeah, you just saw him.
Yeah.
Just saw him.
Yeah.
Sure, it was a while ago, but you got no excuse. But my point is, I think kind of the point of that song or that line is to say, like, people would have said, "Oh, love songs, they're, they've all been done to death," or whatever, but not to like that person falling in love for the first time. So I think to them, hearing a love song for the first time is new, and that song is really intended for them. So I think even with movies that come out, maybe they have been done to death or whatever, but most people that are watching that want to see a new movie or want to see a movie, they're not necessarily trying to go back and watch an old movie to get that quote unquote that Jones fix. If I want to see like a good sci-fi movie or a good mystery movie or a good romance comedy or whatever, then they'll typically want to try to find something new, or if something new is made, they gravitate to it if that's what they're into. So that was kind of my point a little bit. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the themes and everything, they have been done to death, but if it's something new and it's new to that person, just like the way music kind of changes, and it seems like, it could still be a love song or it could still be whatever kind of song, and it may seem like dumb to like, dad or whatever, but to the kid, it's something new and original. Or even when they take a remake or they take a song and they redo it and do it differently, and you're like, oh, that's just an old song. I grew up with that song, but to them, that song's like the new cool thing.
Yeah.
So I think it
not
kind of
always,
changes, with
I mean, I
generations.
remember Cruel Summer. I've used it as a bumper on the show here. But then when I heard that slow version in Cobra Kai, it worked in Cobra Kai. But then when you just listen to the song by itself, I was like, okay, this isn't Cruel Summer. This sounds like something I would want played at my funeral or something. Then there's that also.
Yeah.
But I'm going to throw this out and then I'll move to the next thing. Correct me if I'm wrong or if I'm seeing this the wrong way. When you when I hear Trent say, I want to see original stories, come up with original storyline, is this an original storyline or is this more gimmicky, more a gimmick? The only thing I see as original are two things. One is when the Blair Witch Project came out, the original one, because no one had done that. No one had done found footage, and we all know what it did and the craze that came after that, all the way to Paranormal Activity. Then the next thing was not The Purge, but it was the elevated horror, the A24 films, as I say, or the Jordan Peele movies. It was no longer about slashers that, Freddy, Jason, that don't die. They keep coming back. Although we're getting another Friday the 13th event, apparently. But it was more about horror that actually makes you think. One, two, it can also happen. It's more based in more paranormal than horror, really. Are those two things original ideas, or are they just gimmicks?
I think original.
Yeah, I think they're original in the sense on how the stories are told and how it's shot. Like Jordan Peele has a very distinct style, to the point where if you see his films, you can actually be like, oh, this is a Jordan Peele movie or a Jordan Peele-esque movie, Even like Weapons, we just covered Weapons a few weeks. What was that, last month now?
Yeah,
it's a while ago now. Yeah,
a little bit ago. Yeah, we covered Weapons, and that was a pretty original-ish, horror type of what was that? You just said horror, elevated horror type movie.
Yeah, elevated horror.
Yeah, and that I think it's because horror has been, correct me if I'm wrong, but has been a specific style, jump scares, slashers, that kind of thing. And then when you go into this kind of more psychological thing, or just finding another way to tell that story, I think is the creative part of it. I think like in Weapons, a good example, like, spoiler alert, but like, the bad guy is a witch. That's been done before. That's been done. And that's actually probably arguably when you find out the actual villain, it's kind of like, oh, okay, well, that's it. All right, well, a little bored now, but
the Brothers Grimm told us did it first.
What was that?
The Brothers Grimm did it first.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you're gonna go that far back, yeah. That was in Mark's time, right? The Brothers Grimm.
You see,
There you go.
That's what I got to put up with. This guy.
But yeah, I just to answer your question from back earlier. When I say I usually I'm looking for a good story, I mean I like to care about the characters, and I like to see them go through a change and why they went through a change and how they are at the end. I think that's like storytelling 101 or character development 101. Is the character is one way, something happens to them, and then at the end, how are they different? And that's, I think we don't see that a lot in Hollywood movies. We talked about Tron last week. I liked the movie. It was cool. The Tron world gets an extra 10% bump because I'm so in love with Tron. But we had issues with the character development, and the character motivations. Like, why did Ares becomes sentient and starts to go against his programming at the very beginning of the movie? Why? Why was that a thing that happened? We weren't told that. We weren't shown that. So then I think when I talk about like good storytelling, I need to see a character go through something and have them change or show the capacity to change at the end of the movie. And a lot of big budget Hollywood films don't focus on that aspect. They focus more on the spectacle, if it's a horror, an action, comedy, they focus on the spectacle versus the actual character development. And, telling an original story, I think, is not. It's the same as music, right? Every single chord progression on a guitar has been played and recorded, and a song's been written in that style since the beginning of time. There's no new chord progressions that haven't been used before, but it's how you do it, though. How you, I guess, play that chord progression. Same way in the movies. I think there's creative ways to approach it, but I mean, can we reinvent the wheel? I don't know at this point, but
wait, why do you do a podcast called Geek Off The Street? You're a geek? I couldn't tell by that answer you just gave.
That's a great answer, man. Great answer.
Well, that's just the same thing with me. It's like I don't want to leave a movie with questions on my head that could have been answered during the movie. Mm-hmm. There's nothing that makes me pisses
never
me
watch
off
Inception.
More. well, no, that's like a movie that like just doesn't make sense, and then you're just like, how the hell did this happen, or how did this person do this? It's just like they could have explained it, and knowing that I'll never
Superman
get an answer knowing that I'll never get an answer is the thing that makes me the most angry about something like that.
Yeah, and sometimes it's cool to figure things out about movies. You know what I mean? Like to piece things together. Like, oh, when that person said this, or when they did that, or piecing things together. But when the writing is essentially what it boils down to is when the writing is bad and it's not thorough. And things that should have been answered aren't answered, and you have to walk away not knowing. You got to make something up to kind of justify it. Mm-hmm. That's no good.
You guys ever
and
seen
good writing should be. Oh, I'll say it really quick. Good writing should be, like pretty much what Trent's saying, should be something about the human condition. You know what I mean? Whatever character you relate to, like you said, whether, the ups and downs they go through, whether they win or lose at the end, it should be something that's going to teach you about humanity and your own humanity.
Have you guys seen one of the A24's newer movies, Bring Her Back?
No, I didn't get a chance.
Oh, that is new.
So one, I watched that one. It's pretty good. It's pretty. I'll just say that it's pretty good. Just like how you said, the human elements inside of a movie, it's there, and I did not leave. Oh my god! Because how they told the story, how it was acted, how it was portrayed, it made sense, and then you're just like, if my 6'5" self was there, none of that would have been happening. And it's just like, but I love when a movie makes you feel like you're one of the characters. It makes you feel like you're powerless at some points, and you just have to just deal with it. And you understand, it's just like, it makes you understand the situation these characters are in, and you're just like, you're screwed either way, no matter what. So, you either give it your all or just die trying, So I would highly recommend go watch that movie, because that one, it was made by the same creators who made Talk to Me. And so, those guys did Bring Her Back was pretty good, and it's pretty gory too. So
that was scary right there. You scared me a second ago when you said you're 6'5". I almost said you're going to say something else that starts with a 6, but we won't go there. Not on this show. So, if you know, you know. I want to wrap up with this. I was actually going to ask a question about Stranger Things as we're coming to the end, but I think what the question was going to be, I think we kind of talked about it right now in this topic that we just finished. So I'll save that until January 2026 when we do see the end, and then we'll probably all talk about it on all of our shows.
So I gotta watch the last 4 seasons to catch up on that show. Then,
and then there's that
season 1 and 2. Maybe I think 2 is the last one I saw.
Guy,
yeah, but there was another one that I mentioned to Trent the other day on the phone that I did want to bring up, because today, November 5th, is also when you can finally stream Fantastic Four First Steps on Disney Plus. And I know some of you haven't seen it yet, but now you probably have, or you have a chance to see it. So this is for those of you that have seen that one, and also Superman, because arguably those were the 2 biggest comic book films that we were all waiting for in 2025. James Gunn's Superman and Marvel's Fantastic Four, which is the first family. I was waiting for it because it's the first family. They're finally part of part of the real MCU, not just, whatever the 20th Century Fox did. So, I'm not going to say too much about this, but because I know one of us here, and again, I won't say names, Trent, really wanted to talk about this for a while. Who did it better, Superman or Fantastic Four?
Well, just like Tron gets a 10% boost, anything James Gunn does gets a 10% decrease in my book. So, no, I personally, and this is 100% not biased. Overall, I enjoyed Fantastic Four, the movie, more than I enjoyed the Superman movie. And that has nothing to do with my personal opinion of James Gunn or the way he tells movies. I think he really did dial his style back a little bit when it came to Superman, which I appreciated. But I think, I don't know, I personally just, for some reason, Fantastic Four connected with me a little bit better. I don't know. I don't even remember the episode that we talked about it, but I still think Fantastic Four, just overall, I just had more fun with it. Superman is a really important character to me. And so I don't know. I feel like if you don't get it right, it's hard to get right for me, I guess, in my opinion, with Superman. And he's a hard character to get right too. So, I don't know. Fantastic Four for me. I got my fantastic car right here. So I'm all,
look at that bad boy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, Shanclen, we saw that thing flying in Fall H.
I know, right? Mind-boggling how I was trying to figure out how that thing was flying.
Demons.
Sorcery.
Right, the greatest scientists in the world. How did you do it? Demons. Sorcery magic.
What do the rest of you think? Superman, Fantastic Four, who did it better?
Fantastic Four for me. Those guys, I love the world building and they did a good job at making it feel like it was a different Earth. It was like a retro but futuristic modern day Earth, and I just got to appreciate the work they put into world building for that place.
Yeah, the retrofuturism or whatever the term might be for that was very cool.
Yeah.
For me, it might be a little close, but I'm gonna actually give it to Superman. For me, the Fantastic Four movie had a lot of cool elements, but and I think I described it this way when we talked about it on our show. Like it never took off for me. Like it never, like I felt like it started to, it seemed like they were building something up, and then all of a sudden, like to me, like the movie was over. It for me, and I know where the quote unquote the high points of the movie are, but it never turned into like this apex moment, this critical, ultimate moment in that movie. And I think with the Superman movie, while there were a lot of things that were definitely wrong with it, I do kind of like the aspect of some of the things they did with Superman's character, that he is, and this is a Superman that, and a very polarizing character as far as the movies are concerned. People want the Boy Scout, or they want, this, tough whatever. They want Christopher Reeve. They want all these different things. And I like that they made him his own person, in the sense that, yeah, he is kind of nerdy. He is, whatever, kind of I don't necessarily say, a geek or whatever, but when he kind of says like that he thinks he's punk rock, essentially because he's doing his own thing. So he calls himself punk rock because he is a rebel in that regards. And I like that aspect, that Superman is a rebel. He's not on anybody's side. He's on everybody's side. He's not on any one person's side or any one country's side. He's going to do what he feels is right. And I like that they kind of brought that up, and they showed that he was aware of it and dealing with it, and not just, just being like this Uber Boy Scout kind of thing. I like that element that they brought up with him. Still, a lot of things kind of could have been done better, but I did like that aspect of the character himself. So for me, Superman.
I kind of not a fan of the punk rock thing, but
yeah, I know the line is kind of corny, but I mean,
coming
again,
from a punk rock background, being in the punk rock music, I disagree with him, but
well, I mean, it's not meant to be taken like literally that it's about punk rock. It's about punk rock is like hip hop music. They are both rebellious music. They're both what should be an underground art form is what they are in their roots. I mean, they've been commercialized to death now, unfortunately, but that's what it is. So Superman is this. He is his own individual. He is this guy that's going against the norm, against what everybody thinks he is supposed to do and what he should be doing. And he's just out there trying to help everybody. He's literally out there trying to help everybody, like even animals. He's trying to save the kaiju. He saves a squirrel, which seems like it's kind of like dumb and corny in the moment, but it just shows like, of course, Superman's going to save every life he can. So I like that they delved into that with his character.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's cool. I just don't like that they use punk rock as the explanation.
So if they said hip hop or something, you would have been okay with it.
Well, I wouldn't have known because I don't know anything about hip hop, but I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, like I said, the punk rock is not, it's not about punk rock. It's about what punk rock music represents.
No, that's what I'm saying, and I just don't agree with like that usage of it. I think, I don't know. Again, now it's coming down to James Gunn talking about it.
Do you think that's an untrue statement about I mean, would you say that's an untrue
I
statement
think that that doesn't match what they're trying to tell us in the movie about Superman. I don't find that he was trying to rebel against the system or bring down the system or
No, he wasn't trying to bring down the system.
Which is
no, he was being an individual. He was doing, his own thing. He was rebelling against basically everybody, like everybody telling him you need to do this, you can't go here, you can't go there. because, you're coming from, you're quote unquote an American or whatever the case may be. And he's, in his own way, kind of gave them all the finger and said, I'm going to do what I feel
I'm
is
gonna
right.
I'm gonna save people, and then like all of a sudden people don't like me, and then now I'm gonna save people, and now that's punk rock. I don't know. It's like I don't know. It's not really coming across for me, but I see what you're saying. I do see what you're saying, but like the spirit of it is, he's a Boy Scout, and I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, he's a Boy Scout in a very un-Boy Scout world. So he's an outlier, right?
Yeah, but what is it about him that changed? I don't know. Like it comes from the character development, the story. Like how does he really change by the end? He's just, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, I won't argue with that. Yeah.
It's funny how things have changed since I first met you. I remember we weren't even here. We were in Shanclen's home state of Arizona. We had done something at Vulture City, something that Shanclen has brought up before. And we were at the Denny's. And we were sitting there. I was defending the MCU. You were saying you hate everything about it. Now,
it's not exactly what I said, but
I'm sure it was close.
There's witnesses. There was what you said. But now it's the opposite. See, because I didn't like Superman at all. The movie, I mean, this one. And I didn't like Fantastic Four either. Superman, I didn't like because there was nothing super about him. Granted, I've made it very clear I'm not the DC Comics reader, so I'm sure he's gone through different iterations over the decades at this point. But when you think Superman for general audiences, they always think of not even Christopher Reeve, but they think about Superman is super. He's the ultimate hero. Nothing can stop him except for kryptonite. Clark Kent is the complete opposite. Mild-mannered reporter Clark Kent is a geek, a nerd, a loser, basically. The Christopher Reeve version kind of overdid it a little bit. The Henry Cavill version, I kind of like that one. He wasn't too goofy, but just enough that he was a little bit different than Superman. But this Superman, there was nothing super about him the entire time. The other thing not that I didn't like, this was definitely for DC fans because there were a lot of things that I'm sure, like in Marvel, were Easter eggs or right in your face things that I didn't get because I'm not familiar with the comics or the storylines, so I didn't know why the Green Lantern was there, why the other heroes were there, what this is supposed to mean, what Lex Luthor saying this or things that everybody's cheering about, and like I'm throwing up my hands. What? I think that has nothing to do with the movie. I think that has everything to do with it's Easter eggs probably for someone like Trent, DC comic book readers. So I didn't follow it because of that. Fantastic Four, very much like what Mark said, feels like a very unfinished film, or either unfinished or someone really messed with it, really edited it up. They had a longer cut. But then they came in and said, you know what? Let's make it a little bit shorter because we don't want people to sit there for 3 hours. We'll sit there for 3 hours. We've been waiting for the Fantastic Marvel fans. I guarantee you, we've been waiting for the Fantastic Four to come to the MCU for quite a while. From the beginning, we were waiting for this. When it was first announced that Shanclen's best friend was going to be Mr. Fantastic, Pedro Pascal,
Yes.
I remember I said, let's hope he does it again, because when they picked him for Joel, I said, I don't see him as Joel. Killed it. He's Joel. Now I can't see anybody else as Joel. For this one, I said, I don't know. I gotta. Even when we saw that footage last year in Hall H, when they first showed us what he looks like, even then I said, I just want to see the whole movie, what it's like. Well, now that I've seen the whole movie a few times and I can watch it whenever I want now on Disney Plus, now I can say he's not Reed Richards. You need to find somebody else, or you should have gotten somebody else, because he's not Reed Richards. He did great with the other ones. He's not Reed Richards. Not the Reed Richards that I grew up with, or that most people know. And I think Trent, where his story could potentially go. I can't see him pulling it off. Not with what he established in this movie. The I don't even know what you call it, but the what time has it been? All that stuff, that just got annoying. That's not why or how Ben says it's clobbering time. That just got annoying. Him yelling all the time. What time has it been? What time has it been? Like, okay, be quiet. He was annoying, actually. I was kind of hoping that, like in the Deadpool movie last year, we would get Captain America come in and Chris Evans come in and say, like, who are you? I'm the real Johnny Storm. I mean, he could. He's not Captain America anymore. But it didn't work for me for that very reason, because it didn't feel, kind of like Superman, they didn't feel like the Fantastic Four. There wasn't anything really fantastic about them. When I first heard what they were going to do in the beginning was going to be a montage that shows you why they're the Fantastic Four, I figured, okay, that was cool, because we don't have to watch the whole origin story. I think we needed the origin story because it didn't work here. People that are not familiar with the Fantastic Four at all, they just have to accept that, okay, this guy stretches, she goes invisible, Johnny Storm lights up, Ben Grimm is a rock, basically, just a walking rock. But it didn't really capture them. And then Shanclen, to me, I mean, I know the story. Trent, obviously, you know the story also. To me, it just seems like he was just thrown in, like, okay, here's the Fantastic Four, but let's get the Shanclen story as soon as we can, so we can, whatever they're going to use him for, so we can establish that he's here. And they didn't really establish how powerful he is. They hinted at it. Well, I'm getting into spoilers and into phase 6 and 7 or whatever phase, but so I'll stop there. But that's why it didn't work for me. It's a fun movie, but it didn't work for me. The big reason that I've had, not just with that one with Fantastic Four, with Thunderbolts, with everything that Marvel has done since Shanclen and I were in Hall H last year, is the fact that you are setting yourself up for a big disappointment. You have not taken the time to establish Doom and what kind of a threat he actually is. You were doing it with Kang, but no, we all know what happened there. You can't just shoehorn somebody in, even if it's RDJ. You can't just shoehorn him in and expect everybody to say, like, oh yeah, bring all the Avengers together. That's my problem with Fantastic Four. It did nothing other than quickly show him at the end. Oh, look, he's talking to Shanclen. But we haven't really, MCU hasn't really established what kind of a threat he really is. If you remember the best one, Endgame, Infinity War Endgame, Thanos was almost in every single scene or somewhere. You knew he was in the background looking for those stones. Most of the movies were about the stones and how they were going to affect everything, and it all came together perfectly at the end. We haven't had that in this one. So next year, when we're all sitting watching Doomsday, I think it's going to have to be like Hall H. They hope for that all those people that were in Hall H are going to be there cheering because it's RDJ, but you really haven't established what kind of a threat he really is. So that's my problem with Fantastic Four. And really, it's kind of sad to me. Neither one of them lived up to what I was expecting. Superman, I was especially the first teaser where maybe that was a mistake. They made it seem too much like they were going to do or redo Richard Donner's, Christopher Reeve's Superman, especially with the theme. And then the trailer was very much like the first teaser for that, but then it was something completely different. So that kind of threw some people off. So to me, which one did it right? Neither one. I mean, believe it or not, and people can't believe me when they ask me about Fantastic Four, is that I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought. As much as I wanted to, I didn't enjoy Fantastic Four. So to me, neither one really did it.
Do you think that's a problem with superhero movies, though, Henry? Because I actually like the fact that Fantastic Four didn't connect to anything else, because I am a little tired of everything having to be interconnected for a bigger purpose. I think Fantastic Four was actually I was refreshing because it didn't connect with anything until the post-credit scene. So, is that something that you were expecting to see how it connected to everything else, or?
Can't really answer it other than to say, because of what you're about to see in 2026, yes, it needed to be connected.
See, that right there, now that you kind of mention it, it does kind of feel, and kind of like what Mark was saying too, it feels like it can't be a standalone movie. It can, but it seems like they're pulling back the punches on the, oh my God, that's so crazy kind of feeling, kind of like how the original Marvel movies felt. They felt like they were on their own, But with this Fantastic Four movie, it feels like they just made it just so that the characters are established in there. Like they're like kind of like how you said that they're rushing it. If they wanted to do like the origin story, maybe they would have to have 2 or 3 movies out before Doomsday, to kind of set up the characters. And the next movie, something big happens, but then it also leads to Doomsday. Like it really does kind of feel like it was just kind of just there to be made to say that they're established and they're canon in the Marvel universe as far as for movies.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think I feel like if Spider-Man is not going to connect to anything, I think that's so, again, not toot my own horn, but I think I've been calling things about Marvel since before the decline, and it's declining in the exact way that I feel like I said it was going to. And I think that the Doomsday thing is a Hail Mary. Like,
first of all, I got to throw this out. No, it's not. It is, but I'll explain it like this. It's a sports analogy. That's kind of like saying, my Green Bay Packers, they're not that good. Yeah, we know that. A Packer fan knows that, but we don't want to hear that from a Chicago Bears fan. That just makes it worse. So that's kind of like this. I don't want. Yes, he's right, but I don't want to hear that from the DC
I don't want to
guy.
hear it from you.
From Mr. Anti-Marvel. Okay, no, that's fair. Okay, now I see what you're saying.
So, having said that, let's end this with a little bit of fun. Speaking of time, let's do a little bit of time travel. Today, as we release this, it's November 5th, 2025. I wish you were doing video because somebody here looks like Marty McFly.
Trent's ready to go.
Now, like I said at the beginning, back on November 5th, 1955, Doc Brown, he's changing a light bulb in the bathroom when he slipped off the toilet seat and boom, hit his head. That's when he got a vision, not of love, of what would become the Flux Capacitor, which made time travel possible. And, well, we all know the rest. That was 70 years ago, like I said. When Marty went back to 1955 from 1985, that was 30 years into his past. If we four here, if we were to go back 30 years today, right now, that would be 1995. Well, this is where the fun begins, as somebody said. I've joked about it before, but I actually do have a Flux Capacitor here in the Geek Speak studio. Always have since day one. Let me turn it on. Let me go to, what do we say, 1995? Let me push the right buttons, or otherwise we'll end up who knows where. So, ready to go to 1995? Well, even if you're not, here we go.
Whoa, man.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, see, something else I've always said when we talk on the phone, I can't talk and type at the same time. I was thinking 1995, I actually put in 1955. Well, I gotta say,
oh Lord,
kind of like this song. I wonder why. And then for some reason, suddenly have a craving for milk, chocolate. I don't know. Anyway, let's do this right. Let me put in 1995.
There we go.
Let's go to the right one. This sounds more like it.
Welcome to the Microsoft Windows 95 Video Guide. This unique program will help teach you how to use many of the most important features of the new Windows 95 operating system.
Okay, yes. 1995. Finally made it. Glad I pushed the right buttons this time. The year that we learned our toys were alive because of Toy Story, and when we still had to memorize phone numbers. They weren't on our phone. Going viral probably meant a trip to the ER, and Friday nights usually meant a blockbuster night. Just remember to be kind and rewind. 1995 was also the year that Sony introduced the PlayStation and changed home video gaming forever. And also this little company called Amazon, weird name. They had its first sale in July of 1995. Good luck to them. Hope they become a success. Wonder how they're doing now. So 1995, we made it. We're here. Shanclen is quiet because I don't think you were even born yet. Were you?
No.
Yeah,
Gotta wait 2 more years.
He was a twinkle in his parents' eye at this point. But you're here. That's how time travel works. You actually are here. First, not Shanclen, because we just found out where. But where were you? If you remember, where were you two? And that's not a age joke, because I'm the same age as you, Mark. But where were you guys in what is this? November of 1995? Do you remember?
Let me. Yeah, I know I would have been 21, so I'm pretty sure I was working at a place called Computer City that no longer exists.
I remember those actually.
What? Yeah, right? It's like a customer service person.
Yeah. No, I remember. I wish they did exist because sometimes I need stuff for the computers, but there's no Radio Shack. There's no Computer City.
Yeah, I know, right? All that stuff you got to like travel.
This little company, Amazon. I don't know. Maybe you heard of it. That
yeah, those guys. Yeah, and they were just selling books.
Yeah,
that's all they sold back in the day was just books. Like I think even like ebooks or no, they didn't have ebooks. I take that back, but
it's just books.
Yeah, literally just books. And I was like, who's gonna use these guys? Yeah, I need to go back and find myself. I'll be back.
Trent, where were you? Do you remember?
Yeah. I would have been 5 years old in November of 1995, so I was probably on my PlayStation playing Destruction Derby, or I was a big Lego person, so I was probably playing Legos, watching Dragon Ball Z, trying to turn Super Saiyan, and maybe a little flag football in there also. I think.
Right on.
So yeah, that's what I was doing.
This would be a quick answer. Shanclen, where were you?
I was in the spirit world.
Oh, there you go. Gaining knowledge and power for his arrival.
And just for me to forget it all when I come out.
When he got here. I know I was still big into anime at the time. Or I think I might have dipped a little bit, but I was my re-emergence into anime again was taking place because I think maybe the next it might have been the following year. Well, let's not talk about the following year. Who cares? But yeah, I think Dragon Ball Z still a big thing. I was finding like all these like bootleg copies of like the OAVs, the original animated videos that were like these standalone movies. And like I already knew about Dragon Ball Z like ahead of time because I've been into anime since I was a kid. So yeah, I was finding like these different videos of, and I didn't know what was going on because I swear I want to say at that point in time, like Dragon Ball Z was like barely hitting the mainstream. I don't even know if they even introduced like the whole Super Saiyan. Sorry, I'm going super geek right now. I apologize. But yeah, I was finding these movies and I didn't know what was going on, but the fights looked great and only certain people were changing their hair. I was like, why are you guys all not turning blonde right now and going out and fighting? It makes no sense. Everybody do it. But yeah, like it was a big fascination or a big fun thing for me to like find all these bootleg anime things that, because it's everywhere, but at that point in time it was not. So it was a fun little treasure hunt for me.
Yeah, you couldn't go to Amazon, not yet. So yeah,
not yet.
It was literally a hunt back then. Yeah. No, for me, I remember in '95. It was actually a good year. I was at. I don't think it exists anymore. It's called Wild 107 in San Francisco radio station, and also at a KCSM in San Mateo. That was a jazz station actually. I lived in San Francisco, but also had an apartment in Daly City, so I went back and forth between the two. I do remember I wasn't reading comic books at this point. I always had, but this was in the middle of my cool DJ when I couldn't read comics. Really, honestly, it wasn't that I didn't want to, just I didn't have time. I was always on the air or at the clubs or doing concerts or whatever I was doing. I remember that was one thing that back then I thought it was kind of cool. It was weird looking back now. I'm glad that's over. I couldn't go anywhere without people asking me for autographs. I guess today would be like, like they come up to Shanclen like, hey, we follow you and can we get a selfie and all that kind of stuff. That's what it was like back then. I started collecting things that I always wanted, but I could never afford it. Now that I'm getting, as Luke said, more money than you can possibly imagine. Now I started to go back and again, those times that I missed all those comic book things, I never read the issues, but I'm glad that they had the TPBs, the trade paperbacks, or the omnibuses I used to call them back then. So I started collecting those. That's how I caught up on things that I hadn't read. I had a flip phone. I didn't really care about it, but I only liked that one because this is the geek in me. It looked like the communicator from Star Trek. I was like, hey, this is cool. I want one of those. Like Mark, this is why we're the old guys here. I was 22 years old then that time. And so that was 95 for me. I mean, I don't think I ever slept again because I was always on the radio or doing something, doing an appearance, doing something. So it was a fun time for me. The geek stuff wasn't really there at that time, again, because I was busy playing the cool DJ, so I didn't really have time for it. But I still collected stuff. Now, this is where the fun stuff is. And Shanclen, I'm sure you've heard stories about 1995, so you can jump in here too. If you could bring back three things from 1995 to today, to 2025, what would those be? And it could be people, trends, anything that we don't have anymore.
Music. Good music from then.
That's what I was thinking.
That was good. Yeah.
Well, I say that again because I was in music radio, so I got to hear it all the time. Specifically, I would say 90s R&B is what I would bring back.
Yeah. Even hip hop for me, like 90s hip hop was fantastic. I'm not gonna dump on whatever is considered rap music today. Some of it, I'm sure some of it's good. I feel like a lot of it, especially anything that's commercialized, is not. But I would definitely bring that back. That again, that more under is still a little bit more, not a lot, it's still a little bit underground. Like everybody wasn't into it. It was actually kind of breaking out of that at that point in time, unfortunately. But it was a good time. There are a lot of great groups that were out and around and that are not there anymore, being original. And I feel like there's a lack of originality today.
No more love.
Right? It's heartbreaking.
Man, I miss going to movie rental stores and browsing for movies.
Exactly,
like going on Friday night, my dad and mom would take us. Me and my brother would each pick out a movie. Sometimes if we were lucky, we'd get a snack, but not usually because we are broke. But we used to get to choose a movie. And I do remember renting Toy Story several times to watch. My brother was like, why are you getting that again? He would always get anything with Jean-Claude Van Damme in it. But so then I do miss that. I miss the excitement of a Friday night going to a block. Well, we didn't go to Blockbuster. We went to the dollar one. But yeah, that was a fun time. I think that's a really good memory I have.
Yeah, those are events. I remember having the Blockbuster night. I mean, we say Blockbuster, but yeah, everybody had I remember mine. It was right around the corner from my house. It wasn't a Blockbuster. It was just a local video shop, and they could get like $1, the movie for $1 or something like that.
Exactly. Yep.
That's one thing I want back is cheaper prices on everything.
I was gonna say prices in the 90s. Yeah, that's the other thing I'd bring back. The cost of things in the 90s.
Yeah, like
I should have been investing when I was in the third grade.
How much are we're almost embarrassed to admit, how much do we spend on the streaming services a month alone? Yeah,
$75, $90 for all mine.
Yeah, compare that to $1 to watch a movie back then.
Yeah. And there's not having the information like as accessible.
No spoilers.
Yeah, you go into a movie thing, you have to read the back of it and be like, oh, what is this about? Maybe that's interesting. Let's try that one out. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Shanclen, when did you first watch Toy Story? Because you shared it on one of the Halloween episodes before, where you thought you heard them. I even played the sound effects from that, and that because that was one of the most terrifying things to you.
Yeah. Gosh, before I even had consciousness, probably. Pre-programmed into my mind before I even realized I existed in this world. Definitely, yeah. Long time, but for those of you newer generations that are born within, the past
Yesterday.
15 years, you guys probably don't know what a VHS is. So that's where we had like these big old plastic tapes that showed film on our old radioactive TVs that would.
Shanclen, they don't even know what tapes are. You gotta describe that too.
There's one thing I don't miss is those old TVs that just go beep, or you like hear the frequency as they turn on and they boot up, and you're just like underlying hissing noise in the background and static and electricity.
How about the best part? Having somebody hold the antenna. Hold right, don't move. Right there, right there, right there.
That was before my time.
Yeah, I remember all that nonsense. Yeah, it was terrible.
It's gonna be the last thing.
Yeah.
The last thing maybe I'd bring back. This wasn't even for me at this stage of my life, but like our whole neighborhood, we'd all have kids that would go out and play. We play baseball. We play tag, hide and seek. We had like a block that was all we were all a community, and all the kids would play and do things outside. I don't know, I don't just drive around random neighborhoods anymore or at all, but like I don't know if that's as normal of a thing. I feel like I don't see a lot of kids out playing and running around and
it went online.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say not anymore, especially in bigger, maybe like in smaller towns, but even there, not so much. But definitely, like we're in big cities now because there's Nextdoor and those kind of apps where that's how you meet your neighbors. Like, oh, I live right next to you, but you're texting online instead of going out, in your backyard over the fence, gossiping or whatever you're gonna do. And people don't do that anymore. Yeah, that's definitely something that I would definitely want to bring back. As a whole, not just that, but Shanclen has mentioned this many times when we used to do the Paranormal Perception podcast. He would mention it there. The humanity. People had more humanity back then and more empathy for fellow humans. Not I hate you because, especially politics. I hate you because you voted for this, or because you do that, or because this, or you look like this, or you're that, you're this. Back then, nobody cared. If we all liked the movie, we all liked the movie. If somebody didn't like a movie or you didn't watch it, nobody said nothing. It was like, oh, yeah, you should watch that movie. Yeah, okay, cool. Or sometimes, hey, let's go watch it on Saturday. It's matinee. Matinees, bring those back. I don't think they have those anymore. Or in San Francisco, there used to be one in the Mission District, theater that used to do 2-for-1 Tuesdays, where you could go, pay for the price of one person, or two tickets. What is it? 2 tickets. I'm messing that up. 2 tickets, but for the price of one person, right? I think that's what. Yeah. So 2 tickets for the price of one is basically what it was. They don't do that today, because one ticket is $70, 2 people is 140, and never mind. And they also did that with food. Actually, they would have. I think they have it, but it's still $30 for the. Well, you guys couldn't see it, but the Trent showed us the bucket, the fantastic bucket. I guess we'll call it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You got to get those, and those are like $80 or whatever. Yeah. No, the Galactus one was like $80.
$70 on the Tron one. So.
Oh, that's awesome, though.
Geek. It is pretty damn cool, though.
That's cool.
I said, what a geek.
Lights up too.
Well, he's got the Fantastic Car popcorn thing. Then he pulls up the light cycle.
He pulls up the Tron
popcorn thing.
Yeah, I just wanted to show it off.
What's that one? Superman one too. For some reason, I don't know.
What is that?
It's the Superman one. So he's actually like. If you look at it, he's like heat visioning the popcorn bucket.
Oh,
inside.
okay.
Yeah, the Superman's in here somewhere though. But,
yeah. Okay, let's continue because everybody's getting mad. Like, we can't see. Hello.
Oh yeah, I know, right?
Oh, we can see it. Trust us. It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
And you should see the lasers firing out.
Right, literal lasers.
But let me. Is there anything else? Because I want to go to the other side of that coin.
The other side of the coin. All right. maybe this will be the other side of the coin, because I was going to say one thing that I might change or might
leave back there.
Should I wait? I was going to say, like, maybe I would instead of like bringing something back, maybe change something, or I'll make a bold statement, say maybe get rid of the internet.
Yes.
I'm going to make a bold statement and say the internet.
Well, you heard it when we were blasting in through time. You heard the little Yahoo. That's when Yahoo first became a thing, and
Right.
people, I think some people still have Yahoo email, whatever at yahoo.com.
Oh,
And
yeah,
Windows 95. That's when it first got introduced, and well, we know what that came out of it. But yes, if only we knew what we were
Yeah.
building back then.
all the good it was supposed to do. I mean, that it does, but there's so much poison
Yeah,
with it as well.
yeah. I
You
mean,
think,
but
despite all the good things we have from it, would you say it's worth getting rid of all that stuff?
yes,
Henry, you say yeah?
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. I mean, there's so much
I mean, it's-
potential.
Mark. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of a Star Trek question. Does the
Mm.
good outweigh the bad, or not the good, the need of the many?
Yeah,
because,
outweigh
like-
the needs of the
like
few
Trent just
or the
said,
one.
Yeah, we'll all miss our apps, and the ease. Again, we keep talking to Amazon. The ease of shopping online. Rather, if you don't feel like going out to shop, you don't have to. You can just, it gets delivered to you. There's that, but that's kind of not an evil. I mean, that's not the wrong word, but that's kind of a catch-22 where, especially Mark, as we get older, you want to, your health is one of the most valuable thing you have. It's not money, it's health. Trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me, kids. Trust me, Shanclen and Trent. But
I'm still waiting to be proven wrong for that.
you will.
Oh, jeez.
Because being broke sucks. I can tell you that.
No,
Being dead is worse.
No, you want to stay healthy. You want to walk, but it makes it easy to just order Grubhub, just order something from Amazon delivery, or you want to. Like I said earlier, the computer store you worked at, Mark. I wanted a part for the computer, a wire for the microphones. There's Radio Shack. There's those computer stores. Now it's just Amazon. It's here in an hour or tomorrow. And me, I'm just, again, Wally. I'm just sitting there, just tapping away. So yes, it's ease. It makes life easier. But when you really think about it, the quote Thor, does it really? Does it? So yeah.
I mean, but in a sense, though, I feel like time is a commodity as well, and the amount of time we save from those services,
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
I mean,
that is valuable.
The biggest evil, and I will call this one evil, is the lack of empathy, the lack of humanity for fellow human beings, no matter where you are. I mean, this was, like Mark said, this was supposed to be a big thing that united the world, and it did. Unfortunately, so we could call each other names from across the globe.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The misinformation,
Mhm,
all the
mhm.
confusion, the I don't know, people getting platforms that maybe should or should not. Like anybody can have a platform. Anybody can preach to millions of people, and everybody maybe shouldn't be preaching to millions
Yeah, I
of
was
people.
gonna say, but should they?
But should they?
Mm.
Yeah, and they can. Yeah, there's, like I said, there's so much negativity. There's so much misinformation, so much poison that's been put out there. The pressure that it tends to put on younger people, and as bad as that is, that I feel like that's probably not even the worst thing. Like overall, I mean, like I said, I feel like the good and the potential for good, man, I swear I want to say it outweighs it, but I mean, the way things are, back in the future, it gets pretty hectic, but back here in 1995, it's not quite that bad. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's so much information.
So see, there's that also.
He
Technology
made it
doesn't
he
always
made it through
work.
the whole episode except for that part.
No, but I was gonna say what sounds like what Mark is saying. I'm sure you guys have seen memes that say, if we went back 30 years now, like Marty did, it would be 1995. I don't think we would want to come back. So I think that's what Mark is saying. If he was to go back, he would want to stay there.
I see.
Because I can say, yeah, I would too.
Interesting. I guess I was too young to really to know the bigger picture of things. So I don't know. I think I grew up in a good
Well,
era. I think a good era, generation to grow up in. But
here's a good way to measure that. Shanclen, again, it's not a joke. It's the fact that he wasn't born yet. But from what you're hearing, does it sound like somewhere you'd want to be rather than where we are?
I don't know, because like I'm trying to think of my childhood and life as a child. It was fun. It was cool. Played sports and went outside and played.
But wait,
and
when you were growing up, was there internet already, or was it in the very beginnings?
no, there. That was back when games, you didn't need internet to play games, you know. And then the only information that we would get is local news, and cable. That's one thing I hate is cable. I hate it just because I love and hate it, because it was cool late at night when I was living in my haunted house, and that commercial of the greatest hits love songs came on at like 2:00 in the morning, and then you hear Michael Bolton, "Tell me how I'm supposed to live without you. You too can own this DVD set. 3 low payments in 1995 of the greatest artists." Anyways, yeah, that would save me from nightmares and stuff. But where I grew up, I mean, it was all right. You know, like we didn't grow up in a rich family, anything like that. It was pretty like normal mid lifestyle kind of thing. I remember we didn't really have to worry about money or anything outside of yourself and your family. Never really was an issue. It just seems like today's day and age, you're worrying about the world's problems, it seems like, and that is like an added stress that I feel like a lot of people, you know, back then didn't have to worry about, because either A, they didn't know about it, or 2, you know, it's just a different mindset back then.
Okay, go ahead.
But all in all, if I were to leave anything back in those days, it would be toll-free numbers calling my landline phone. Getting those calls, all the phones in the house start ringing. I was like, "Oh, who's calling?" And then it's like 1-800 number, and you're just like, "Oh my god," or 188 or something like that, trying to sell me something.
Yeah,
I would not. We don't deal with that today, but back then it was such a nuisance.
Well, now we can just see it and block it, or
right, or just not answer it,
or answer it and be an a-hole.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because that was a new thing. I don't think it came out after 95, but it was we had no caller ID back then. That was the thing.
Yeah. So you didn't know who was calling you, which
right,
sucked, which is like that's my nightmare.
I don't remember when it came, but do you guys remember? At least in my in my house, the phone company gave us it looked like a big pager looking thing. And that was a caller ID, and there was this magical thing, because, you know, when my aunt was calling, like, and her name would show up, like, "Oh, look, that's cool." Now it's like, yeah, we know who's calling.
Yeah, now I can decide if I want to answer it or not.
You'd be like the only one home taking a nap, and then like the phone rings, and you're just like, you got to get up, and then you just wake up from your nap because you think it's your mom or your dad calling you, and it's those toll-free numbers, and you're just like, screw you.
Hello,
I was having a good nap.
This is service merchandise calling to offer you.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I did want to say about the internet thing. I think this is 100% why if it wasn't here, it'd be a disaster for people like me, Shanclen, and Mark. I think filmmaking would be different. I think the big studios would dominate all distribution. And there would be no market for independent people like us. No, a quicker, areas of distribution for independent films. I think it would still be big studios running everything, dictating what we watch and what's available to us and what gets made. And with how the internet's changed things, I think it puts the power into our hands a little bit more than it would have without it.
Someone like me, I would be completely screwed on it, because I don't live in a major city that has any of that stuff. Mm-hmm. So I don't have like any TV network stations or radio, anything like that. I would have to move to a big city to be able to do something like that.
Mhm.
I was gonna say he doesn't even live in a city.
I know. It's a small town of 10,000 people.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
so that was that's
Yeah,
what we
true.
would leave behind. I mean, I agree with what you guys are saying. I mean, the biggest thing I would leave behind is I mentioned it a second ago, the how people react to just how people are, how they know. I say shame is something that we don't have anymore. I mean, everybody literally just puts out everything out there, whether on the internet or even in person.
Yeah.
Customer service, no such thing, doesn't exist anymore. When you go to restaurants, it's just what's up? Why? Because they were probably online all night or playing all night. And then their alarm goes off. Oh my god, I gotta go to work, and suddenly now you're tired, but you were fine. 6 hours of playing a video game, and then the just plain old common courtesy. What happened to please, thank you, yes ma'am, no ma'am, and all of that. Now it's like, what do you mean? What, you don't agree with me? Well, don't you know who I am? Just whatever. You're just some kid on an app. I'm an influencer, so I'm influencer. That is like, just come on, kid. You're not curing cancer. Calm down. So yeah, I mean, we have the advantage of we're in 1995, but we have the advantage of foresight. We know what 2025 is like. Like Marty knew what 1985 was like, that they would love his version of Johnny Be Good. Even though they're all covering their ears like, what the hell is this? What does this sound? He knew, like you said, your kids will love this. We have the foresight of this great, we heard the commercial there, the Windows 95 and the Yahoo and all these, and Amazon. We know what those things become and how they change the world, literally the world. And it wasn't, like we just said, it wasn't for the better. So yeah, that's what we would do. So let us wrap up. But before we do that, we don't want to, I'm going to say we don't want to, we got to go back. But I mean, really, if we really want to go back, can't we just stay here in 1995? We're nice and fun.
It would be nice. It would be nice.
And nothing hurts on me yet. So that's the main thing with me. So, all right, fine. We'll go back. So everybody hang on, buckle your seatbelts, and we'll head back to, I guess we have to, we'll head back to 2025. Okay, look at that. Just with that sound alone, I just offended like 90 people. And I don't even know why. So we're back in good old 2025. And there's the issues of the day.
Should have brought myself an almanac. I did not do it.
Sports almanac for sure.
Sports almanac.
And then, although, we're still going to keep it going. Can't we do that online now? I mean, do we really need an almanac? Isn't all those facts, aren't they online?
Yeah, today.
But not for the
100%.
future ones.
Not the future ones.
Nah.
Well, apparently ChatGPT can predict lottery numbers now. Someone recently won the lottery.
Oh, with
asking
ChatGPT. Wow.
numbers, yeah. So
Interesting.
Well, that, or unless, the games are fixed or something like. Okay. So anyway, there's the issues of the day for this short month. And when I say short, it's not November is not a short month. What I mean by that is you're going to have 2 regular Geek Speak episodes. And then, like everybody, we're off for Thanksgiving week or weekend, whatever, and Black Friday and all of that. And then the end of the year begins. I'm going to talk to you guys about it when we start recording here, but I have an idea. I want to bring something back. I brought back the book club, which was the Geek Speak show's most popular feature. That's back now. And I'm glad I did, because a member of the Geek Speak show, not me, the other one, actually became a reader. You can call it obsessed, but I say, no, welcome to the club. He loves reading comic books now. He showed me a whole stack that he has. So see, the book club does do something good. Now I want to bring another thing back. It's actually how I used to end the Geek Speak show. If any of you are listening that have been here for the last 15 years, you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to talk to the boys in a second about what that is, because I want to include Geek Off the Street and maybe some of your other online friends, because I know they would enjoy this. So we'll talk about that at the end. And like I said, it's going to be a short month, 2 regular Geek Speak episodes on Wednesdays, and then the Thanksgiving break, and then we'll be back in December to finish everything off. For now, let's all make like a tree and get out of here. Everybody else come back next week, and Shanclen and me will speak more geek.
Issues of the Day are standalone episodes that you'll hear once a month. Henry and Shanclen will return next week with an all-new episode of the Geek Speak Show, Volume 2.
The Geek Speak Show, Volume 2 was produced and distributed by 22 Creations Multimedia LLC.